What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Nod, back at you for another week of the show. The pros and cons, vols, you already know. Oh man, where do I begin? First off, I just want to say thank you for the continued support. This being the 24th episode, and I'm just, excited and happy about where the show headed and everything. So, I'm just thankful, y'all. Like I told y'all last week, I'm headed to the Podfest in Orlando. Shouts out to the Podfest people and everybody, and me getting the invite out there. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna represent. I'm gonna make as many contacts as I can. I'm gonna get on as many other people's podcasts as I can, and I'm gonna try to get as many people on y'all favorites podcasts. So it's just a great opportunity, and I'm excited about it. So plus I love Orlando. Some great shopping out there, and I love going out there. So any excuse to get out there is dope. Oh man, y'all, I've been working on a lot of different things. Like I say, eventually I'm gonna have a season finale, and I'm coming right back at you with a season 2, and I'm gonna have a lot in store. So if y'all been wondering why the gaps, last week I didn't have a show, I've been so consumed with getting a lot of stuff prepared for season 2 that a lot of stuff I just been letting a lot of stuff go. There's no excuse though. So, like I say, my main thing is consistency. And that's what I want to be, and that's what I want to do. But I need y'all to stay consistent too. Subscribe, check me out, check my show out. I ain't going nowhere, y'all. So when I feel the love, I'm more prone to being, put out more product. So and plus, it's just a weird time of the year, like I expressed. Everybody kind of going through the motions, but I know it's headed in the right direction where everybody gonna be feeling good again. So it was just exciting time. But this week, I ain't really got nothing, a specific topic, to talk about. It's been a lot going on, a lot of, deaths. It's been taking a toll on my emotional state, whether it be personal or, public, that being the Kobe and the actress, Janae Dubois. If y'all don't know who that is, that's Walona from Good Times, shot in my city, Chicago. When you grow up watching shows, or even if you watch reruns, you feel like you got a connection with a person, And even with her reinventing herself, being on the Wayans brothers, you just remember seeing her. She always had a role in something, and she iconic in the African American community, and I hate to see that she passed away. So R.I.P. Janae Dubois. Also, the woman from Friday died. I can't remember her name. R.I.P. to her. She played in a lot of small different roles, and of course, the most talked about amongst the young community, the rapper Pop Smoke was killed in a hit/home invasion. And he was just 20 years old, and that broke my heart. Not because I even just listen to his music like that. And I do, having kids of age and kids as teenagers, and also brothers that's still in tune with a lot of music. I hear a lot, I hear a lot of music, and I watch a lot of YouTube and interviews, and I've watched several interviews, with him. And I thought he was a charismatic young dude. And I'm not going to sit here and say I thought he was going to be a superstar, but the interviews I watched with him on Angie Martinez show, shout out to Angie Martinez, I thought he had something. Outside of the music, you know, when you see a person and you watch something that they do, some people have a certain it factor. And I you know, watching the interview, I felt like he had a certain it factor. I watch a lot of guys, these new artists, get on interviews and they like zombies and they repeat the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, so it was kind of refreshing just seeing somebody who was charismatic and could speak eloquently without having to be repetitive and saying the same thing. So, but not just that. Like, he had a certain presence about him, and it was just upsetting for me to hear that. You know, 20 years old, you know, coming from the communities that we come from, you know, happy, you know, just excited about the possibilities of what's in store for your life, and you know, to have all that snatched away. You know, and I don't know what's you know, what happened, what's surrounding it all, but you know, whether it be jealousy or, you know, hate, you know, all the wrong reasons, you know, and I know a lot of these guys, you know, into some things, but you know, it's just sad all in the same. You know, actually my brother, shouts out to Chatham Bite, was the first person I think to introduce not just me, but I think everybody in my family to Pop Smoke. We were it was a holiday, or we was having to get together, and he came over, and normally, you know, at my house or my brother's house, was, you know, we just got YouTube rocking and just put music on, and everybody just kind of take a turn once the music get a little stale to put whatever they like on and video. And Chatham Bite was like, man, y'all heard this joint? You know, and he put it on, and it kind of just instantly had a vibe. Welcome to the party. And so that was my first introduction with him. But, you know, also just, you know, to see this stuff tragically happen, you know, tragedies just, they hit different in the world. Shouts out to my daughter Brookie. They hit different. And, you know, it's just sad, you know. So I just want to say rest in peace to Pop Smoke. And my condolences to the family of Janae Dubois and Pop Smoke. You know, tragedy. But moving forward, you know, it's a lot of different things going on, and I plan on getting home to Chicago soon. You know, me living in a different city, like I live in Tennessee, so like me living in a different city, sometime, like, you know, where you from, you know, you need to get back home periodically, like it you know, and I can't. And I live where I live, and home is where I live. But you know, the essence of me is Chicago, and sometimes I need to get back there periodically just to like get recharged, and not necessarily like I'm tired, but just get centered and take in the, you know, the culture and just everything that the city had to offer and everything that the city encompasses. You know, because for so many years, you know, that was my home and my stomping grounds, and familiarity, just, you know, eating what I like to eat, and of course being around my people, and, you know, all that. So sometimes I just need to, and I think all of us, you know, if you're from somewhere, you should go home sometime. You should go home. You know, you can't forget where you came from. And no matter what happens with me, no matter what travels I take in my life, Chicago will always be the center of it. You know, I've been repping Chicago on 79th when I lived there, and I'll continue to do so. I love that place. But and shout out to everybody from Chicago that's everywhere. I mean, one thing I can say about Chicagoans, no matter where I go in the United States, to an island, anywhere, I always could find a Chicago person that has migrated there or has just visiting. So one thing, if I can't say nothing else about Chicago people, we get around. We not scared. We fearless in just saying, if it's a better opportunity somewhere or this going on down there, I'm head down there. We will do it. And I applaud it because I've been to a lot of places, thankfully, and no matter where I go, it seems like I always either run into a Chicago person or just around something that's Chicago based or influenced. And here recently I went out of town and I was leaving the airport and I was on the rental car bus to take me to the rental car place at the airport. And I'm sitting there and it's a certain swag, it's a certain lingo and aura that Chicago people have. So instantly, other Chicago people could recognize other Chicago people without even giving it too much thought. So I step up on the bus, and I ain't paying attention. I get on the bus, and it's kind of late, and I'm headed to, just kind of focused on what I'm trying to do, get to where I'm going, go get my rental car, and I sit down, and there's a guy to my left, and there's a guy to my right. Well, the guy to the right, he was like an Italian gentleman, and he was very friendly. And he was like, "Oh man, you look like a ball player." And he said the same thing to the other guy. He said, "Man, you look like a ball player." And he said, "Oh no." And so I kind of glanced at him and kind of took him in, and I'm like, "Oh, this dude definitely from Chicago." And everybody who knows. It ain't nothing that I can really explain. It's just you got to be from there, and if you from somewhere, you probably know what I'm talking about from people from where you from. So I peeped, and I'm like, this dude got a Chicago swag. So I'm like, I just give him the normal words. Hey, you from the crib? He glanced 2 times. Yeah. And that was that. Like, and I was just explaining. It's crazy because I was just explaining to another friend of mine's coworker. Is a guy who had a Cubs hat on, and for like a couple of times I seen him, he had a Cubs hat on, a blue Cubs hat, red bib. So if like not a red bib, I'm sorry, the royal blue Cubs hat with the red Cubs logo. Well, if most people, the trendy Chicago attire is normally a Bulls hat, but predominantly it's a Chicago White Sox hat because of its simplicity. It's black. It got the socks, nice and neat on there. It's kind of universal. It can go with a bunch of different things you wear. So traditionally, you'll see the Sox hat getting worn more. And normally that person probably is not from Chicago. You just know that that's probably just a fashion thing that he's doing. But when you see a guy in a Cubs hat, and you see him on a couple of different occasions he got it on, and there ain't no rhyme or reason to it as far as dressing, you tend to know that they got from Chicago. Whenever I see guys in Cubs hat, because it's not ideally like the most fashionable color palette to wear, just unless you got a whole outfit on, and then you can kind of, see, okay, well, maybe he just wearing that to match his outfit. Make a long story short, I asked that guy, I said, "Hey man, you gotta be from Chicago." He's like, yeah. So it's just a thing is all I'm trying to say. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that if you're from a specific place, you know specific things about people. If you hear certain tones, certain slang, certain accents or vernaculars, you tend to know that person is from where you from. And you never lose it. You never lose it. You never lose your your traits from where you from. So but back to the guy on the bus, and I asked him where he was, was he coming from the crib, and he said, "No, I live in Dallas," and he was just out where we were at visiting, and this happens to me frequently. I go somewhere and I meet, somebody from Chicago inadvertently, like not trying to meet them, just our paths cross, and I always find it strange. And I mean, literally, since I moved, I meet people. Even before I moved, if I go somewhere, I meet people from Chicago. So big up to the Chi-Town. We get around. We if anybody say Chicago people don't expand, they lying, because we do. And a lot of times for the wrong reasons. Some people do. Chicago, we got a certain cockiness. When we move somewhere, we feel like we run the show out here, wherever. And it's brash and it's in your face, but you have to be where we from to understand it. So we don't mean no harm, but it is what it is. But so that was just my things that's going on. I went to check out the Photograph. The movie. I think I may have talked about it. It was pretty dope. Pretty dope. I said that to say, in cinema today, movies in general have become so unoriginal. I haven't seen just like an original movie that wasn't based off of something, or loosely based off another movie, or a remake of another movie, or an action hero from the past. Like, I don't know where our creativity is going, but if it's anybody out there listening that aspires to be a director or a producer or actress or actor, like, think original thoughts, like, or just bring something to the screen that people haven't seen before. And I understand it's a money game. People want to obviously people want to profit off of what they're doing, and I'm all for that. But it's still, if you're a creative person, think outside the box and let's bring some new stuff out. But what I have noticed is that TV and television shows have probably been better than they ever been in the history of TV. Whereas movies may be lacking, TV and just shows in general. I'm not gonna say TV because now you got the whole streaming thing, but just shows that you can watch have been better, and in an abundance. There's so many different shows, it's hard to keep up with. People tell me about a different show every day, and it's hard to keep up with them. I want to check everything out, but it's so much content out here, which is a good thing, because then it's diverse. It's something for everybody. It's not just back in the day, if you just had Spencer for Hire was on, that was it. Dallas was on, that was it. MacGyver was on, that was it. Like, you ain't have too many shows to choose from. Now it's kind of spread out, and it's something for all walks of life to watch, and you being exposed to different things and different types of shows that you probably didn't know you like until you check them out. And then with the ability to binge watch shows, I think it's giving people more interest in watching TV shows, because the anticipation of waiting a week, or when they had that 2-week gap, it made it good, but it also just like the anticipation and the length, it made a lot of people just be like, And then if you from an era or a time where I'm from, where if you missed the show, you probably weren't going to see it again. Like that was it, unless you put a tape in the VCR and tried to record it, you wasn't going to see it no more. So that's one of the great advancements in mankind that I'm thankful for. DVR and all that type of stuff, because, and just even reruns, because I remember when a show came on, who knows when you might be able to see that episode ever again. Reruns wasn't that plentiful in the 80s and early 90s like that. You didn't have you had a lot of older shows that was in syndication and, you know, replaying and things like that, but not like the current shows. If you didn't record it, and it wasn't like, you know, now where you could, at the end of that season, you can go out and buy the box set. Not for TV shows. Movies, yeah, but not for TV shows. So, yeah, but the originality in movies, you know, it just kind of is blowing me. And I don't know if it's just a passion in it. I think a lot of people just trying to get a check. Put out some good trailers, draw people in, make some money, and in their mind it's a success because financially it's a success. But you know, it's just, I feel like nowadays it's just like a lot of passion missing. It's like a lot of passion and love missing from what people doing, you know. And I'm not advising anybody to stop what they doing, quit their job, but you know, the essence of being great at something is the passion and the love, like, and it shows in your work. Like, it shows, it truly shows in your work. Like, I ain't gonna front y'all, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all right now. A couple of weeks that I didn't do the show, it's not because I didn't love the show, it's because whatever the emotions I was feeling at that moment, my heart went into doing it, and I knew that it would come off in the way that I did the show. And me being the person that's doing the show, who loved doing the show, doing the podcast, I want to make sure I give y'all the best product that I can when I sit down to do it. And so, you know, like I say, just the rigors of life may have had me not down per se, but just in a space of exhaustion, or just tired, didn't want to think, didn't really want to, and I didn't want that to show in my work. Now I know I'm on a small platform and I'm not trying to seem like I'm that dude, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I do it correctly. And even now, my passion and everything is here, and I'm driving. And so, you know, like I always tell y'all, if the production ain't up to par, you know, y'all bear with me. I was leaving work and you know, wanted to make sure I got y'all some content out and just some different things that was on my mind, and explain a few things to y'all. But you know, that's being as transparent as I could be right there, y'all. You know, I mean, it just, you know, I don't want to put subpar things out because, you know, and in this day and age of, you know, people doing a lot of subpar things, I don't ever just want to do something just to do it. Like, I don't want to just do it just to do it. I want to make sure whatever I'm trying to talk to y'all about, it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I want to talk about. It's something that I want to get out and, you know, talk to y'all about, like, or just put some information out about that. But you know, yeah, that's that. And moving forward, you know, you know, just looking at the whole Gayle King thing, and I talked about it on, I think, the Kobe episode. And you know, I watched the Snoop react and say some things harshly to Gayle King, and he may have been a little over the top, you know, disrespecting women. Like anybody that know me know I got the utmost respect for women. But this whole world tour that he going on now about the Gayle King thing is weird to me, you know. And I think I'm gonna do a flash 5 on that and see what y'all think on it. So I ain't gonna even jump too much into it because I got a lot of love for Snoop. So, but just some thoughts, and like I say, hit me up at Pros Vols, capital P, capital V. Maybe if you got some thoughts or you wanna, you know, shed some light on it, then maybe I'll drop an episode on it. So yeah, but as far as Let's see, I touched on movies and TV. I'm trying to think if it's any new music that I've been listening to. Not really. I hadn't heard nothing. I'm an R&B guy, and I'm a rap guy too, but I'm an R&B guy first and foremost. I could probably live without rap, but I don't know if I could live without soul and R&B, because such a variety of it. And I watched the interview with somebody, and they made some great points on some great things. And I think it's because hip hop has a cap on your creativity, so it gets stagnant for each individual artist. It's only so far a hip hop artist can ascend to, because of you getting your own way. You the primary writer, you the primary thinker, and eventually you get stagnant as a person, and it makes it hard to keep up with a sound, and your sound gets stagnant. And I can't remember who I was watching the interview with, but they broke it down so eloquently. That's why, like, somebody like Drake don't miss, because he and Kanye, because they have writers, and they have people who help them with they, not just writing, but they sound, they thought process, different ideas. And that takes courage, but that also I think is something that's hip hop is evolving into, just with the melodies and new song structures and everything like that. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And yeah, man, getting ready for spring. I got shout out to my sis Jazz. She having a baby shower in Chi-Town. So anybody that's listening, bring some gifts on through for my Chatham B10 Jazz. So I can't wait to touch down up there for that. Going to the Podfest, like I said, and shouts out to my last guest, Tail Talk Montel. Much success in your entrepreneurism, and as well as your new podcast that you got coming out soon. Like I say, the game is to be told, not to be sold. Now, I'm here for anybody that want to get any information on podcasting, and maybe what type of microphone might be good for you, and what hosting site might be good for you. So I'm open. I ain't trying to keep nothing hid from nobody. I'm here for information. So shouts out to my cousin Shanae. I ain't seen her in a while. She done got bougie on me. I'm just joking. I love you, Shanae. But now, but moving on, I want to shout out to my nephew PJ for being the player of the year. So shouts out to PJ. Everybody who knows. And moving on. Oh, also, y'all, I said something last week that I hope didn't go over y'all head when I said love is rational for my quote of the week. And the reason I said that is because, I'm around a bunch of different people, and now everybody got like a new science in the way that they, doing relationships and different things like that. So it was more predicated towards the relationship aspect of love. Like, you can't, and what I mean by love is irrational. It's all opinion based, y'all. And so this is my opinion, and get at me, if y'all got some thoughts on it. And what I mean by love is not rational is because you can't dictate and tailor make a person to suit you in the eyes of love. Meaning, I see so many people. If this guy don't make this type of money, or if this guy don't have this, or if she got too many kids, or blah, like all that's irrelevant, because if it's a spark between y'all and that grows into love, none of that won't matter. So what I'm saying to y'all is, maybe it ain't love that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a partner, a business partner. Because when it's love and it's real, all of those details don't matter. All you know is you love this person, and you're willing to do whatever you can to be with this person. And when you can't be with this person, your day don't feel right. And when you can't see this person, it's the worst thing. And when you can't touch this person, it's the worst thing. So that's what I meant by love isn't rational. I guess you can learn to love somebody who got a 6-figure job and, nice looking and things like that, I guess. But will you always live your life wondering what could have happened with that guy that made you feel a certain way, even though he was a janitor? See, a lot of times I see people trying to make people into something to make themselves feel better. But if I'm happy being a janitor, then I think you should respect that, because I'm not hurting nobody and I'm doing what I gotta do. So, love ain't rational, y'all. If that means you gotta walk over that girl house every day, you gonna walk over there. If that means you gotta catch the bus to see her 3 hours away, you gonna do it. If that means you gotta do whatever you gotta do, that's when you know your heart filled with love for that person. And it ain't about no money. And it ain't about no if they live here or if they live there, or if they got this or they got that. No, it's just strictly purely about love and the way that person make you feel. And that ain't rational. If you see that person hurting and it hurts you, or somebody bothering that person, you want to protect them in whatever kind of way. That's what love is. And it ain't rational. There's no rationalizing love. And if you can rationalize love, then maybe it ain't real love. So that's all I was saying with that, y'all. But moving forward, y'all, I'm going to move into my song of the week. And my song of the week is by a young lady. I watched the interview with her. And I was blown away. Chicago and Selena Johnson, You Are My Woman. I mean, I Am Your Woman. I'm sorry. It was a dope record back in the day, and I just want to shed some light on her for having a great interview on The Breakfast Club. Just so eloquently spoken, and I just gained a whole new respect for her and her platform and what she doing on her show. And so, I Am Your Woman. Dope song. And if you hadn't checked out that interview with Selena Johnson, go check it out. And my quote of the week is, be strong in the face of adversity. Don't let that go over your head. And my legend of the week this week, y'all, is somebody who I admired from afar. I admired from afar, and only from afar because, in life, our paths take us in different directions, and I obviously moved from my hometown, and my aunt, Lenice, or Lenny as we call her, she went her direction, got married and had a family, and since I was younger, she always held me close to her like I was her I was her first nephew. And, we had an inseparable bond. And she was just always a joy to be around. Always so classy. Always so well put together and well thought out. And even as she progressed into having her own family, she the epitome of a mother and a wife, and just making our house a home, making sure her kids are taken care of, and doing everything to ensure them every opportunity to have all the opportunities in life, and just being a great captain and co-captain of her situation with her husband. So my legend of the week is none other than my Aunt Lenny. I love you, Aunt Lenny. I remember the 3 wing days from Captain Kirk on Cottage. I appreciate it. Those memories live forever in me. I love it. My legend of the week, y'all. And until next week, hopefully I can hit you live from the Podfest. It's your boy Big Nard signing out.